Hi, my name is Austin and my partner today is Brian. We're at Arapahoe Community College, and today we will be removing and rebuilding a power steering pump out of a Chevy pickup. So here's our power steering pump. To remove it, you'll need to take off the drive belt and then remove the pulley, and there will be 3 bolts behind the pulley that you remove to remove the power steering pump. Alright, so to get the pulley puller off, we have a pulley puller right here, because it's just a press fit on there. You're going to want to put a ratchet on this end, and then another large wrench to hold on right here. And it'll hook on to a little groove on top of the pulley. And it'll look like that. So now I'm going to get in there, start removing stuff. Alright, got the pulley off. Alright, and I've removed the power steering pump. On these trucks, this is a integral power steering pump because the power steering pump housing is actually inside and part of the reservoir. And here's the holes where the bracket bolts on. And so now we'll go inside and rebuild it. Alright, so we've got our power steering pump out of the vehicle. We can look on here. This is the outlet fitting. That is where the high pressure fluid hose will hook up to go to the steering gear. And this tube right here with the rubber on it, that is the low pressure hose that will come back and return fluid from the steering gear to the power steering pump reservoir. So we're going to start taking it apart. First we need to take out these studs here, and also the outlet fitting, because they hold the reservoir onto the pump. We put it here in a vise because these can be pretty tight. Now be careful when you take off the outlet fitting, because there is spring pressure behind that. So here's the outlet fitting. That is one of the seals we will replace. This is the spring I was talking about. This is the flow control valve. It goes in with the flat part out. This is the flow control spring, which lies behind it. Alright, before you take the reservoir assembly off, be sure that you have all 3 out, the studs and the outlet fitting. They can be, like this one's pretty old, so they can be kind of stuck on there. Just kind of hold it, tap the outer edges. Alright, inside here's a magnet that catches metal filings. We've already cleaned this one, but you can look at it and see if there's a lot of metal shavings on there. If there is, that's an indication you may have a worn pump or some internal damage. Here's the reservoir assembly. Just went like that. This large O-ring seal right here seals the fluid inside of the reservoir and within the pump. That's one of the seals we will be replacing. And our next step will be to remove the end cap, which is held in by a snap ring. Alright, so we've got in a vise to make it easier. There's going to be an opening on the snap ring, and to make it easier you might want to get that opening up near the hole. And we just used a screwdriver and tapped it around. And so this hole right here is where the punch will go. And we'll just pop out that snap ring. And be careful on this part too, because this end plate will fly out from spring pressure. Alright, we'll take it out. To get this part out, if it didn't already come out, we're going to tap on this. Alright, here's the end plate or end cap. The bowl side will face out. This is the pressure plate spring. This here is the pressure plate. Applies pressure onto the cam ring. This is the cam elliptical ring. That's how it's cam shaped. I'm going to put this in the vise. Normally, you do not need to bang on this like this, but the parts in there, the bushing and the seal, are just probably a little seized up. Alright, like I said, normally you will not need to do that. Apparently, from that mark, the bushing in there was just kind of seized up on there. So that's why we had to pound it out so hard. So this is the rotor, this is the shaft, and this plate on the back of the rotor is the thrust plate. Inside the rotor are all these vanes. They already fell out. They slide inside, and when this turns at the engine speed, they fly out from centrifugal force. This will be inside here. They fly out, make contact right there. The fluid will be inside there, and as the space gets smaller, it pressurizes the power steering fluid and then sends it to the outlet fitting. Alright, now we're going to take out the lip seal. We put it in a vise. You can use a lip seal puller. We used a wrench. Put it in here. Just pop that out. Now if you look inside there, here's the bushing. Bushing is pretty torn up. So we've got a tool that'll fit right on there. And drive it down in. Make sure you use the proper tool so you don't tear up in there. Here's our old bushing. You can actually see where it was torn up in there. So, alright, so now we've got a bearing driver. I'm going to install the bearing using a press. Push it. Much nicer. How's that look to you?
That's good.